everyone. Today I want to do a second installment of how to make a no or low stretch crochet bag strap. And my first one, which I will link below if you haven't already seen it, I showed you how to make this one, and this goes with my Camellia designer crochet bag. And this one is made freeform, so it has to be attached with something, and I used hardware here. So let me show you one, or a method that you can use to make directly worked from the base of the bag. So I'm going to use some of the same principles in the other video, which is, first of all, a smaller hook. So for this, the base of the bag, and I'm going to show you a comparison reference of why these things make a difference at the end. So just go with me here on this. This is cotton aran yarn, which I think many bags are made out of, if not, the majority. I used a 5.5 millimeter single crochet stitch, not a particularly stretchy stitch. That's one we're all familiar with. Nice, good, solid, salt of the earth stitch, right? It stretches. Cotton is going to stretch. The hook size is going to make a difference. Case in point, I'm going smaller. That's the first step. This is a 3.5 millimeter on an aran weight yarn. That's a very snug fit, but it's going to work just fine. So that's principle one. Principle two is the kind of stitch you make. So both the stitches I'm about to work in a alternating repeat, 2-row repeat, they both are stitches that don't droop because they rely on support from another stitch. So first one I'm going to do, normally what I've done here, I've just slip stitched these first three. I don't want any height, and I'm not making a bag, I'm just demonstrating. So I'm going to do about 10 stitches across, and instead of going into the stitch like you normally would, going to go under the stitch. There's a little space under there. Pull up so it's anchoring way down below. There's one, go under to that space. There's two. See again, that space under the stitch. There's three, kind of like the waistcoat stitch. 4. Let me leave it at 9 so I have a even spacing on both sides. It'll look a little bit better. I'm going to chain 1, turn, and then I'm going to now work something called a linked stitch. So how you do this, crochet 1, and then you start linking stitches together, and that helps support the previous stitch. So that's another method of giving support. And how you do that is you go back into the stitch you just made, pull up a loop. This will be linking it to the next stitch. So now there's 3 on the hook, pull through, do it again, go into that same stitch, not under, and just go into that same stitch I just worked, and then go into the next stitch. And I'll just do that all the way across. And then my last one. Double check my count. There's 9. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to do that stitch where I work under again. And the first one might be a little tricky to find how to get under there. Let's look and see. That's where I would normally go in. So I'm going to go down kind of far, pull up that loop. And now I can start to see that space a little bit better. It's right there. 2, 3. And that's 9. And as you start to do this, I'll look at it from the side. You see how it's raised a little? Almost looks like you're building a rope because of the wrapping of the stitch. I think it's quite pretty. And then just keep alternating the wrapping under and then the linked stitch rows, and I'll show you what a difference it makes after I work up a few more rows.
Hooray!
I'm excited to show you the project trackers I have designed, and I wish I did this years ago because they have been really wonderful to have. So first of all, nice size, fits right into a project bag. And this is the large print. In the front of the large print, I want to show you, there is a true to life 4-inch ruler, so you can check your gauge easily. You don't have to fumble around, look for a ruler. I've used this quite a bit in just the past 4 projects I've used in this book. And there's also small print, and each of these books has sections for small projects, mid-sized, and large projects like blankets. So the small projects, there's 60 stitches, like a dishcloth, something like that. And there's room for notes, and I have space after each stitch that you check off. If you have to put a note, maybe you changed a color, you changed a stitch, you changed your hook, all of that can be in there. Mid-size projects, 180 stitches, and there's room for notes. And then the blanket size, 330 stitches. And then let's compare the large size print, which I need because I have terrible eyes since I was a teenager, compared to the small size. So handy. And of course a link will be available to get these if you want one for yourself. You can see I've worked up a few rows of this, and let me show you some comparisons of the difference in using just the regular single crochet. You can see my wrists tensing up as I pull, so I'm really pulling tightly. So the single crochet with the 5.5 millimeter stretches as you would expect, and it's not a particularly stretchy stitch, but when you look, see how floppy, curly, loose it is? But then when you look at these 2 reinforced type stitches used with the smaller hook, look, it moves as a whole piece. It's pretty sturdy, and when I pull on it, it's not really moving. It's, I would say, maybe 10% movement, whereas this one, considerably more. And also, I think obviously having an open weave in the body of the bag, that's really gonna make it pull more as well. They look pretty, those lacy open mesh bags, but they just aren't sturdy. If you have anything with any kind of weight in there, it's gonna droop. And then of course a stretchy strap makes it even worse. So this is a good way to go if you want a strap style that is worked directly from the bag, as opposed to the other style that I showed you earlier.